Welcome, racing fans, to Motorsports Radio, channel MR5, home of motorsports talk. And this is the Weekend Edition. William Byron, the number 9 truck winner of last week's NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race, the Pocono Mountain 150. Eric Jones, in the number 20 Toyota, winner of last week's NASCAR Xfinity Series race, the US Cellular 250. And Chris Buescher, the number 32 Ford, wins last week's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race, the Pennsylvania 400, shortened by rain and fog. IndyCar action last weekend, and that would be the Honda Indy 200 Mid-Ohio, won by the Chevrolet-powered number 22 car, driven by Simon Pagenaud. And Lewis Hamilton from Team Mercedes, winner of last week's Formula One event, the German Grand Prix. In tonight's program, driver standings, racing news, racing schedule, and the history of the number 34. We got some cool stuff today to talk about, including NASCAR trading cards. Yeah, and we're also going to touch base on the chase a little bit today as well. So we're going to get right into that. So we'll start with the driver standings. Kevin Harvick still in first place with the number 4 car, 709 points. Bart Keselowski in the number 2 car in second place. Kurt Busch in third. Kyle Busch in fourth. And Carl Edwards in fifth. Sixth place is Joey Logano, the 22 car, 622 points. Now we have Jimmy Johnson in seventh. Truex Jr. in eighth, both with 577 points. Denny Hamlin is in ninth place, and Matt Kenseth in 10th. From 11th through 15th in order, it's Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, Chase Elliott, Jamie McMurray, and Kyle Larson. From 16th through 20th, it's Casey Kane, Trevor Bayne, Ryan Blaney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Dale Earnhardt Jr. And then from 21st through 25th, it's AJ Allmendinger, Greg Biffle, Paul Menard, Danica Patrick, and Clint Boyer. Manufacturer standings for the Sprint Cup Series: Toyota first place, 866 points. Chevrolet in second place with 838, and in third place is Ford with 803. For the Xfinity Series driver standings, Daniel Suarez, who was in first place for a long time, got dropped down to second. Elliott Sadler now in first place. Third place, it's Ty Dillon, the number 3 car, 598 points. Fourth place, Eric Jones. And Justin Allgaier in fifth. Brendan Gowen in sixth place. Brandon Poole in seventh. And Brandon Jones in eighth. Bubba Wallace Jr. in ninth. And Ryan Reed is in 10th place with 484 points with the 16 car. From 11th through 15th place in order, it is Ryan Siege, Blake Koch, Jeremy Clemens, Russ Chastain, and Dakota Armstrong. 16th through 20th, it's J.J. Ely, Garrett Smith-Lee, Ryan Preece, Jeb Burton, and Ray Black Jr. 21st through 25th, it's B.J. McLeod, Joey Gase, Justin Marks, Mario Gosselin, and David Starr. For the manufacturer standings in the Xfinity Series, it's Toyota, Chevrolet in second, Ford in third, and fourth, it is Dodge. Camping World Truck Series, William Byron, the points leader, with the number 9 car, 319 points. Matt Crafton in second, Daniel Hemrick in third, Timothy Peters in fourth, both with 282 points. Johnny Sauter in fifth place. Sixth place is Christopher Bell. John Hunter Nemechek sits in seventh place in the number 8 truck, and Cameron Haley in eighth place with the 13. Cameron Haley with 251, Nemechek with 256. Ben Kennedy in ninth place, and in 10th place it's Tyler Reddick. From 11th through 15th place in order, it's Cole Custer, Ben Rhodes, Rico Abreu, Spencer Gallagher, and Tyler Young. 16th through 20th, it's Austin Wayne Self, Travis Vappel, Ryan Truex, Brandon Brown, and Parker Kilgurman. 21st through 25th, it's John West Townley, Jordan Anderson, Tommy Joe Martin, Austin Hill, and in 25th, it's German Coyoga Jr. And then manufacturer standings, Toyota in first place, second place Chevrolet, third place is Ford, and fourth place is Ram. So the standings are the same for all 3 series, which is interesting. So the history of the number 34, Chris Buescher wins the Pennsylvania 400, and the question is, who else drove the 34 car? 1949 NASCAR Strictly Stock Series, Jim Roper and Sam Marshall. Now, 1950, we have Pee Wee Herman. Between 1950 and 1990, I have a bunch of names here, not all of them, okay? But here's a handful of drivers who drove the 34 car. Tip Arkey, Iggy Katona, Elsie Rigsby, Andy Winfrey, Virgil Livinggood, Ted Chamberlain, Speedy Thompson, Huck Spaulding, Wendell Scott, Jacko Giacomo, and Jesse Samples Jr., and Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle in 1991. Fast forward to 2010, John Andretti, Travis Vopel, and Kevin Conway. David Reagan in 2011 through 2014. Now, a bunch of drivers in the 34 in 2015, including Chris Boscia. There was also Josh Weiss, Brett Moffitt, Reed Sorensen, David Reagan, Justin Marks, and Joe Nemechek. Chris Boscia, the only driver in 2016. So number 34 stats: 917 races, 4 wins, 3 top 5s, 181 top 10s, and 489 top 20s, 2 poles, average finish 20.56. Total laps raced 197,517, and out of those led 165. Wow, that's a long time. The number 34 car makes, you had Chevrolet, Ford, Plymouth, Buick, Dodge, Oldsmobile, Nash, Chrysler, Caysa, Lincoln, Mercury, Hudson, Pontiac, and Toyota. Toyota for only 1 race. So Motorsports Radio's History of the Numbers, history of the number 34. So now we got some goodies right here. And I saw this online yesterday, and I said I have to talk about this today. Trading cards, like baseball cards, but with NASCAR drivers. Are you ready for the NASCAR trading cards? They're coming, ready to be released in 2016. Now, some have already been released. So the NASCAR trading cards are being produced by Panini, the Panini Group, and will be a quote, nostalgic collectible, according to PR Newswire. Here is what the sets include: the 2016 Panini Prism NASCAR cards, which are available now. Coming in early September are the 2016 Panini Torque NASCAR cards. Then it's the Panini Certified NASCAR cards, which are coming in early October. And the Panini National Treasures NASCAR cards coming in early November. So, I think there might be some collectibles right there. I am going to look for them. I guess the ideal thing to do is buy 2 sets, one that you don't open, and the other one to mess around with. That would probably be the best bet. Here are some interesting NASCAR facts. National Association of for Stock Car Auto Racing includes 3 national series, as we all know: Sprint Cup, Xfinity, and Camping World Truck Series. Also, NASCAR sanctions 4 regional series, 1 grassroots series, and 3 international series. NASCAR sanctions over 1,200 races in over 30 states, also Canada, Mexico, and in Europe. The Panini Group, which was established 55 years ago, and I think it was 1961. And get this, the Panini Group is from Modena, Italy. Now, I must say, being an Italian-American, these cars are going to be going to look good. And 1, Italians are perfectionists. And 2, which should really be number 1, Italians love cars, okay? And so that's going to be interesting to look out. So look out for the NASCAR trading cards. Some cars got impounded this week. NASCAR impounds cars after Pocono's race, impounding 2 cars from each car maker for what Steve O'Donnell is calling, quote, a mid-season evaluation. In total, NASCAR impounded 6 cars. Steve O'Donnell, NASCAR Executive Vice President and Chief Racing Development Officer, says, quote, what we're doing really is a mid-season evaluation for us. If you look at kind of where the mid-season falls, typically you're at Daytona, a super speedway race. Then we're at Kentucky. With the new rules package, Pocono presented the best opportunity for us to really evaluate where we are from both an axle and aero and engine standpoint. Okay, and we've talked about the aero package. Spoiler, splitter, radiator pan. The cars were brought to Canova, North Carolina, and are going through wind tunnel tests, and also engines will be evaluated. So the cars that got impounded, 2 Joe Gibbs Toyotas, Kyle Busch's 18 car, Denny Hamlin's number 11, 2 Fords, Bert Keselowski's number 2, Team Penske Ford, and Rush Fenway's number 16, driven by Greg Biffle, and 2 Chevrolets, the number 4 Stewart Haas Chevy, driven by Kevin Harvick, and the number 5 Hendricks Motorsports Chevy, driven by Casey Kane. Okay, so we're getting close to the grid, right? And I said, I gotta start studying this. Now, the grid's the same for Sprint Cup Series, and so the same setup is going to be for Xfinity Series and for the trucks. A little different, though. Sprint Cup Series, as always, starts with the round of 16, 16, 12, 8, 4. Xfinity Series works a little different, because Xfinity Series goes 12, 8, and 4, and then the trucks are going to go 8, 6, and 4. So this year, and now, here are the drivers who are on the list so far for the Sprint Cup Series in the round of 16. Now remember, you get in on a win, and everybody else is in on points. The guys that are in on points risk getting knocked out, especially if you're the one guy that's on the cutoff line. So, but the names that are on the list so far in the round of 16 in order: Bert Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Tony Stewart, Austin Dillon, Ryan Newman, Chase Elliott, Jay McMurray, and Kyle Larson. So we explained that. So you got the round of 16, which they, in Sprint Cup Series they call the Challenger round, and then you get to the contender round, which is the round of 12, and then the Eliminator round, which is the round of 8, and then the round of 4, which they would race at in Homestead. So did a little searching around, because it's time to see when the postseason starts for all 3. Now, all 3 don't start the same time. The first postseason race for the Sprint Cup Series, which is on Sunday, September 18th from Chicagoland Speedway for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400. And first postseason race for the Xfinity Series is on Saturday, September 24th from Kentucky. This is a night race, which should be interesting. And then also on the 24th is going to be the first truck race of the postseason. That's going to be an afternoon race. So, and all roads lead to Homestead, Miami Speedway, November 18th, 19th, and 20th. All right. So we're probably going to do our last round of Motorsports Radios on November 21st before we go on a little holiday vacay, and then we'll be back the Thursday before Daytona 500. Same way we did last year with the Racing Podcast. The only difference is Motorsports Radio. So good stuff. And I'm looking forward. This is my favorite show. I do 2 right now. This one's my favorite. I look forward to this one. And I really like the new setup. So I think it's going to be good. Of course it's going to be good. Don't worry about it. So we have a Motorsports Radio penalty update, and it's starting with the number 41 Sprint Cup team, the 41 Stewart Haas Chevrolet, driven by Kurt Busch. Right rear quarter paddle was modified. This was spotted by officials after the conclusion of the Pennsylvania 400 at Pocono. This resulted in a P2 penalty. This is a violation of sections 12.1 and 20.4.16 and 20.4.2 of the NASCAR rulebook, which says, quote, all braces used to support fenders and quarter panels must be straight, end quote. Kurt Busch had to start in the race in the rear for an unapproved body adjustment. I believe he was starting 15th. He qualified for 15th, and they sent him to the back. He did finish in 10th and clinched a spot in the chase. As a result of the P2 penalty, the number 41 crew chief received a $10,000 fine and is on probation.